okay. Plenty of time here. Let's see what you do. Get the ball center, ground to air dribble. We go for a setup, don't quite get the touch we want. Here, what we should be using is we should just be using a stock standard tornado spin as we yaw left. So here we're in position. We did half a tornado spin to lift our nose up. At this point, any further tornado spin is gonna bring our nose back down, which I think you just continue to tornado spin. Now we're in position here. If you want, you can chain a reverse tornado, or you can just push up on your joystick, and that would bring your nose back to vertical upright or even slightly tilted back, which is gonna give you that slowdown that you want. So when we talk about a tornado spin can be done one of two ways. It's called a tornado because you get this movement where your nose lifts as your tail dips. And so you get this sort of tornado that your nose draws. Now the way you do a tornado, there are two ways. We can hold arrow left, which for me is square, and push our joystick to the right. That's a tornado spin. So this is one version of a tornado. In order to do a tornado with arrow right, you press arrow right, which is my circle button, and we push our joystick now to the left. So that's the definition of a tornado spin. Now, why is a tornado spin useful? Tornado spin is useful because from the grounded state for the first half of the spin, think of it 50% of the spin, your nose lifts. So this has utility on things like ground to air dribble. You get this really high pop of the ball and can be useful for transitioning ground to air. Also, when we're in this kind of forward facing flying, if you do 50% of a tornado spin, our nose faces nicely backwards. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that you can chain spins. So the direction change in any air roll adjustment comes from the first 50% of that adjustment. So when I'm doing a tornado spin, this first 50%, my nose is lifting up. The second half, my nose is falling down. This is why if you perform a 100% tornado spin, you end up where you started. Okay, not sensational. But what is sensational is if we chain two spins. So if you chain a tornado spin, holding arrow left and pushing your joystick to the right, and then you chain a reverse tornado spin, holding arrow left and pushing your joystick to the left, you can get even more of a lift of your nose. So if we do tornado spin to this position, to where our nose is facing up, a reverse tornado spin to this position, we're now perfectly vertical. And so that's why when I was describing this takeoff earlier, if we do a tornado spin into a reverse tornado spin, that's how we get the most lift of our nose. And so that's how you can learn to correct from a bad takeoff, is understanding how these two spins chain together. Tornado spin into the reverse tornado spin.